Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Are you guys having a good day? Had to do the hat check, the hair check, the shirt check. How are you guys doing? Are you having a good day? Having a relaxing Sunday so far? Okay, let's do a little time and temperature check. I think both will probably surprise you. Do you guys have any idea what the time is? The time is currently 3:45 p.m. We just got back from brunch like 15 minutes ago. And the temperature is, it said, who wants to guess the temperature? It said 66 degrees in Alex's car. It feels warmer than that. There's a little breeze. It says 70 and mostly cloudy. I don't know why it said that in Alex's car, but his car is always a little bit off, isn't it? So yeah, we just got back from brunch, and then after brunch, we went to Fresh Time. I wanted to get some coffee and some Diet Dr. Pepper, and Alex wanted to get some hummus and some chips and stuff like that. So we stopped by there, and then he was like, is there anywhere else you need to go? And I was like, no, I think I'm good. I think I just want to get home. And so I was like, I'm gonna vlog as soon as I get home. And then, hey, how are you? Good. I was like, I'm gonna get home, and then I'm going to vlog as soon as we get home, and then I'm gonna relax. Alex is upstairs watching TikToks, and I was like, do you want to watch some movies later today? Damsel. And Tia gave me another movie to watch. She DM'd me and gave me another movie to watch. No, I was really grateful for it because it had a lot to do with what I was talking about in here yesterday with like assisted living programs and things like that. So, but she's always giving me recommendations for movies, and I appreciate it. So I was like, do you want to watch a movie today? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I've got a couple shows I want to start, or I want to watch. He started a Spanish show yesterday. He was telling me about it on the way home. I don't really remember what he was. Something about, I don't even know. He loves all those Spanish shows that like get huge viewership all over the world, and I've never heard of them before, but he loves those. I think it's like the 3rd season of something, maybe, that he watches already. But anyway, so he wanted to watch that, and then he's like, he acts like it's like a duty, like, and I do the same thing with TV shows. He's like, and I have to get back to Shameless and watch the last seasons of Shameless. I was like, okay. So last night we, well, first of all, let me just tell you, it has been thunderstorming all day in Indianapolis. In fact, to film out here, let me just tell you what I had to do, okay? So this table, no, I have not put my tables together yet. Somebody asked that in the vlog yesterday. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon since I'm just vlogging today, because I filmed a video for my drama channel late last night. It was my first drama video, filming out here late at night like I used to do last summer and fall. And so I filmed one late last night. It's like 58 minutes long. I didn't realize it was that long. And so I just posted that right before I came out here. So I'm just gonna vlog today and post that drama video, and then I'm just gonna relax. So maybe I will put the tables together and try to get that out here. We were gonna do the mulch and clean up the walkway today, but it has literally been thunderstorming the whole day, and it is soaking wet and muddy. And I know people are gonna be like, well, that's a great time to pull up weeds, which is true. I just don't want to spend the entire Sunday afternoon in the mud, and I'm sure Alex doesn't either. So we're just gonna have to wait on that. So I don't know if we'll have to see how the weather is tomorrow, and if we want to do it, or we'll get to it next weekend. Or I'll do I did a little bit of it yesterday, and then like weeding some of it, and so it's like half done already. And then I can do the weeding this week, and then we can get the mulch maybe next week. I mean, just the weeds need to be all up. If we don't get the mulch till next weekend, it'll be totally fine. So anyway, yeah, so, I mean, it's, some of it is, like, has some mulch in it, so if the weeds are up, it'll be fine, but anyway, yeah, it like, thunderstormed all day today, and so, I think the race was supposed to start at 11 or noon, I think 11, and when I got up, Alex had just taken Boo Radley out, and it was right around then, and I said, did the race start? I don't know why I care. Like, I don't care anything about the race, you know, but I said to him, I woke up, and he was, like, coming in like, putting Boo Radley back on the bed and stuff, like, he had just taken him out, and I said, I was like, oh, did the race start? And he was like, no, it's been thunderstorming all morning, they postponed it. Well, I've been looking, this is the kind of stuff that I'm interested in that I'll have no interest in whatsoever. Like, I have no interest in the race, but I'm interested in whether or not it's postponed or something. Because I'm like, I always am like thinking like, okay, the people that I know that are at the race, like my sponsor is obsessed. I mean, she gets all dressed up, wears hats and the whole thing to the race, right? She loves it. And so I'm like, oh, this makes me kind of sad for all the people that love the race today, right? Especially the drivers and things like that. But they want it to be safe on the track. So until they have like, so we went to Cafe Patashu for brunch. Our server was telling us, who's also one of our good friends, that they have these, I've never seen them, these huge like dryers that they like put all over the track to make sure the track is safe. But so I've been like Google searching this, and it's interesting because you would think it would pull it right up, like it'd be the first thing that you'd see. And it's not. Like, I had to like kind of search for it a little bit. And it just said on here, I think this was a driver. And he said, estimated green flag for the Indy 500, 4:44 p.m. I think they have until, like, the latest that they can run it is, like, 5 or, I think it's 6, maybe. I read that on one of these articles. And this was posted, like, 28 minutes ago. So they've got an hour. But I still hear thunder and stuff. Alex said that he read that the reason they stopped it was because there was lightning. And they also stopped the concert at the Snake Pit as well because of lightning. It's out in an open field. So, so yeah, apparently they have till like 6. And if they don't run it by 6 p.m., then they'll do also, they can do a delayed. I don't know if they're doing this yet. I can't really find a whole lot about it, to be honest with you. I keep on like refreshing this. Let me see, I just refreshed it again. Yeah, it's like the same thing comes up. You look when you're looking up like news stories, it's like the most recent. I mean, it's like 3 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 1 hour ago. Oh, here it is. USA Today, Indy 500 live updates. So apparently, I guess they've only, I thought they did this a couple years ago, but I guess I was wrong. They've only delayed it to Monday. If I read this correctly, I could be wrong about this, but I think this is the article. I was like skimming this article earlier. In the 100 and so many times that they've ran it, they've only delayed it 3 times in the last time to like and I guess they delay it to Monday, to tomorrow. And the last time that they did that was 1997. They've ran shorter races. I guess that they have to, our server was telling us, she said that they have to run at least 101 laps. I don't know anything about that. So here, let's read this. The Indy car world turns its attention to Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Sunday with the Indianapolis 500, where 33 drivers will compete to win the 108th edition of the race. 8 former winners and 6 rookies are among the 11-row field that will take the green flag, including Helio Castroneves, who could become the first driver to win the Indy 500 5 times. Okay. Where's the updates about this? They're showing all these people here. Oh, wait. Is this where it is? Oh, here it is. Okay. The 108th running of the Indy 500 is getting closer to going green. The drivers and crews... Oh, wait. Where did it talk about? Okay. The drivers and crews have returned to the grid at Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the rain has stopped and trucks are drying the track. And now there are new approximate times for pre-race festivities and the drop of the green flag for the 2024 Indy 500. Driver introductions are set to get underway around 3:48. It's 3:53. Okay. Eastern Time, and pre-race ceremonies are scheduled to begin at 4:16 Eastern Time. If all goes according to plan, the green flag should drop at 4:44 p.m. Rain moves out, drying trucks on track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The 2024 Indy, set to go underway. After rain delayed the 12:45, I guess it started at 12:45. Indianapolis Motor Speedway is sending trucks and track dryers onto the 2.5-mile oval. It takes 2 hours to dry. This was not the article that I read before, but where it talks about how many times that they have postponed. They're just, fans go back into grandstands. So they had all the fans leave the grandstands because of the lightning and things like that. The thing is, I said to Alex, I was like, where would you go? And he was like, I mean, to your car or something like that. But where you park to go, I mean, we've gone to, other things at the track where we've parked. But the one time that we went to the Snake Pit, or that I went with Alex, he's gone several years, but the one time that I went with him, like, we had to park, like, And he was like 5 miles away from the track. It's like, I mean, there's so much parking. Like, people like open their front yards to park, and like we'll say like $50 for parking in somebody's front yard. I mean, there's like parking lot after park. It's so far to walk to your car in pouring down rain to sit in your car for four hours. I was like, what do? You just go out and like underneath it all is like concrete, and so, well, where it's all covered, like the concession stands, I'm like, just eat like hot dog after hot dog. I mean, what do you do for like 4 hours, you know? So sad. But anyway, I was actually thinking about, like, I was like, what show should I watch this afternoon if Alex doesn't want to watch a movie? And then I was like, this is actually a really perfect On Golden Pond Day, which is the movie for Peter's Movie Club this week. So I was like, maybe I'll watch On Golden Pond this week. This is my coffee from Patashu, and it's, you want to know the flavor? It's Patashu blend, house blend, because the flavor was Highlander grog, which is like not my favorite. It tastes very bitter to me. And so I got whenever they have the Highlander grog, I always get, because it's not like a flavored coffee, I always get the Patashu house blend, which is fine, but it's just tastes like regular coffee. So yeah, so I don't, after I get done with this, I may sit right here and watch On Golden Pond, because it's kind of like, I mean, it looks like one of those days. It's like the leaves are looming, and, well, not looming, but the leaves are like lush, and it's like they're just like hanging everywhere. It feels very much like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it looks like kind of like Savannah, like how you'd imagine Savannah, Georgia. It's like all the trees are like huge, and they're kind of like their trees over there are like looming down, and stuff. It's that, I don't know why I keep on using that word, but like hanging down. And so today will not be a pool day with 70-degree weather and rain. I was like, well, maybe you should try to go up there, because I'm trying to go up there every single day. I was actually thinking about this on the way back, about like in my calendar book, how I'm like keeping on there like if I go to the pool or not, so I know how many days I went to the pool this summer. And I'm like, I should put like the weather in there too, so that like when I look back, I'm like, well, why didn't you go to the pool that day? So then I understand it. And then I was like, well, I could start using my calendar for like all kinds of things and keep it as like a little journal and stuff like that. I used to love to look back on that kind of stuff. In fact, somebody messaged me about their sobriety. They DM'd me about their sobriety. Congratulations on 4 months, you know who you are. And they were saying that they were keeping a journal of like gratitude and things like that to like help them with cravings, which is such a fantastic idea. And I like responded and I said, yeah, I like kept a calendar of like how many days I had each day. Like, so I knew like each day how many days I had. And then I would write other things on there today, like today was really a struggle, or today was a great day, met new friends today, went to a new meeting today, or whatever, right? And so when I looked back, I could kind of be like, oh, you know. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll start using my calendar book for a little bit of kind of like a journal of just like what I did that day and whatever. Oh no, you know what I should do? I should get a new calendar book and use it for that. Always a reason to buy a new calendar book. Now I'm going to go into Amazon and I'm going to find a calendar book that will kind of be like that. I think that's what I'm going to do and start it in June. Oh, I got so excited talking about my my new calendar that I was going to buy that I hit the table and then the tripod fell off the table. It didn't just go down, it fell. It went like this. Ooh, like that. Okay. So, yeah. I get so excited. Now, see, this is me, like, looking for a reason to have to find a calendar book when I probably have, like, 6 of them in there. Because every time I buy, like, every new year, I don't just buy one, okay? I think I probably showed them on a haul or something. And none of them really that expensive. I think last year when I had the one that was made by like that papier company or whatever, like that one was a little bit expensive, but even, I mean, like $30 expensive. But most of them that I buy are like just like $9.99, like $6.99, things like that I get off of Amazon. The one that I use most often right now is like burgundy. I have no idea why I picked this color, but it's like burgundy and it's like this big. And it's the one that when you open it, it has like, I think I said this the other day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then at the beginning, it has like the whole calendar in it. You guys know what I'm talking about, like day at a glance kind of thing. That's the one I use every day. Well, then I have like a bigger one that has like a whole page for like each day. I very rarely ever use that one, but I keep it out there in case I might want to. And then I have other ones that I bought because I never know what I might want to use. You know, you want options, and so I always keep my options open. So yeah, if Alex is in the middle of a show when I get done with this, then I'll probably bring my iPad out here and watch On Golden Pond, unless it starts raining again. I can't imagine they would start the race thinking that it could possibly start raining again. I can't, it's not going to start raining again, is it? Because I think they would continue to postpone it if it was going to rain again. But I think tomorrow we're supposed to have rain too. Let's see what it says. 70 and partly cloudy. Let's look at hourly. Let's see what it says on here. 4 p.m. sunshine. I don't think that's going to happen. 5 p.m. Oh, partly cloudy. 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. partly cloudy. 8 p.m. cloudy. 9 p.m. cloudy. And then 10 o'clock thunderstorms. 11 o'clock thunderstorms. 12 o'clock. All the way until 6 a.m. thunderstorms. Then 7 o'clock rain. Then 8 sun. 9. Oh no, tomorrow it's supposed to be partly cloudy to sunshine. Well, sun comes out at 5 and then 6 p.m. sunshine. But the highest it's supposed to get tomorrow is 72. Listen to those birds, aren't they so pretty? It's a 73 on here. The next warmest day we're supposed to have is next Friday, and it's supposed to be 78. Yeah, this whole week is not going to be a pool week. Well, I guess it's June. June hasn't even started yet, so I don't feel too bad about that. So, okay. So June 1st is next Saturday, and it's supposed to be 79. Then Sunday, 79, and rain. And then Monday, 81, rain. Tuesday, 82, rain. Wednesday, 82, rain. Thursday, 83, thunderstorms. Friday, 83, rain's part of the day. Saturday, the 8th, 85, partly sunny. Partly, it sounds like Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek. And then Sunday, the 9th, 89 degrees, and except for a few afternoon clouds, mainly sunny. So, Sunday the 9th is like the first nice day that we're really going to have to go to the pool. No, say it ain't. So, I'm going anyway. I don't care if it's a nice day or not. I might even go up there today. See if I can get somebody to go up there with me and just take a dip in the pool real quick. I mean, 5 minutes, you know, just like get all the chlorine on you, and then put your pajamas on, take a little nap, take a little, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, okay, last night, did we watch RuPaul's Drag Race last night? Yes, we watched RuPaul's Drag Race last night, and then we watched RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, and then, by the way, this week, if you're watching it, I 100% did not agree with who RuPaul chose to win the lip sync. I thought it was, I mean, I like everybody that's on this season, but I did not think that who won the lip sync was, and I rarely think this, I always typically agree with the decision that's made, and I mean, even when somebody's like sent home, I typically agree with the decision, unless it's like they pick the lipstick kind of thing, then sometimes I think it's kind of shady, but when RuPaul picks who like goes home, I usually agree with it. This week was the first time in a long time of watching a show that I was like, yeah, I don't agree with who won the lip sync and who didn't. Oh, their dog is so pretty. Oh, that's the guy that walks his dog. That's Tiger. So that must be his daughter and son-in-law. So anyway, yeah, I didn't agree with it last night. But it was still really, really good. It was a good episode. This week was really good. And then we watched Schitt's Creek. Which episodes did we watch? We watched like 2 or 3 episodes. We watched up until, because I was so tired. And Alex goes, oh, the next one is when they get engaged. And I was like, babe, can you save it till tomorrow because I have to lay down? He was like, yeah. So we went upstairs. I talked to Tanya for a long time at some point because she told me to watch The Goat, which a lot of people have told me to watch. This is like when the lighting is really bad on the camera. I feel like if I'm sitting closer to it, it's not as bad, but like, it just like washes everything out. Like my hands are real white. I mean, do you guys see this? Like, it's like, I mean, I don't know what to do with the lighting. I mean, it's not horrible because people are still watching my vlogs. I promise today I will take some time to kind of try to figure out the lighting on it. I'll have to look and see. Because, I mean, it's so cloudy out right now. I mean, the sun is not out. It shouldn't be, like, washing me out. Do you see this, like, with my hands? It's, like, completely washing my hands out. It shouldn't do that. Then I put them down that way. So, and I'm actually, it's not even showing this, but I'm actually I'm still pretty tan. So, anyway, I'll figure out the lighting on here somehow. Okay, and then we lay down. What did I watch last night? Oh, I talked to Tanya, and Tanya was telling me to watch the show The Goat, which is on Amazon Prime, which a couple people had told me about already. And it's like a reality competition show, and it has like Kristen Doty from the Vanderpump Rules, Now the Valley. It has like Reza Farahàn from Shaw's of Sunset. I just know a couple of the people. I feel like Jill Zarin from Real Housewives of New York is on it, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Alyssa Edwards, but it's like, Alyssa Edwards is like Justin. But Tanya said it was really good. She was like, have you watched it yet? And I was like, no. And she was like, it's really good. And I was like, well, is the whole thing out? She's like, no, there's just 5 episodes. She's like, but it's totally worth it, so you should watch it. So I might watch that tonight. Oh, so what did I finish last night? Okay, so last night after I talked to Tanya and, what else did I do last night? I feel like I watched something else before. Oh, I know what I did. So I knew today that I wasn't going to want to like spend the day filming a bunch of videos. I just kind of wanted to relax and stuff like that. So I sat over there last night and I filmed a video for my drama channel last night sitting over there. And then I got that, I rendered it, and then when it was done, I watched it back. So it was like 2 o'clock when I started watching TV last night. And so then I went in and I watched the 2nd and the 3rd episode of The Pillowcase Murders, which is on Paramount. Actually, somebody commented, because when it got done, there was another documentary after that that was recommended, and it was called like Control-Alt-Desire. And I don't know anything about it, but I just assumed it had something to do with like computers and websites and dating apps or something like that. But somebody commented on my vlog and said it was really, really good. So I might watch that one today. The Pillowcase Murders, it was so funny because somebody commented on my video from yesterday and they said, has Peter mentioned that he watched The Pillowcase Murders? And I literally, that video yesterday, I started saying that I watched The Pillowcase Murders, and it went into this huge discussion about like assisted living programs and dementia and things like that. And they commented on that video. I was like, how are you watching this video and you don't know if I watched The Pillowcase Murders? But I thought it was kind of sweet. So anyway, but yes, I finished it last night. I had watched 1 episode before and then I finished it last night. It's so sad. The whole story is so sad. I think that he ends up like killing like, I mean, you can look at this up. It's not like I'm spoiling it for anybody, but there's like, I think he ends up killing like 22 women and they think that there might be more of them, and they're all between the ages of like 80 and 95. It's so sad. There was this part where they do like their victim impact statements. That was really, really powerful. I mean, it is one of the, I will tell you the one thing about this documentary, it's only 3 parts, is that it shows it from the very beginning, like all the, like the first things that happen, to the discovery, to the investigation, all the way through to the conclusion, even with the conclusion with the families. And so it is a concise true crime documentary. It's very well done. It's very well done. And I think the story is really, really important as well. I mean, one of the detectives in there says that, like, he's one of the, like, has, as far as a serial killer, he's, like, killed some of the most people in the United States, and nobody even knows who this guy is. So I watched that, and then when I got done with that, it was something at the end of it. So there's one woman in there, her mother has been killed, and her name is MJ, and there was something about her that reminded me, I was like, who does she remind me of? I kept on looking at her, and I was like, who does she remind me of? And, okay, so walk with me on this. This is how Peter Monn's mind works, okay? So, who she reminds me of is the woman that was the real mother in The Blind Side that Sandra Bullock played, okay? And at the Oscars, when Sandra Bullock gave her speech for winning, she says to the woman, Mrs. Toomey, she says something about that they're out there and that you'll probably hear her in a second. And then the camera flashes to her. Her husband says something, but she doesn't. And they show her. And I'm like, oh, that's who she reminds me of. She kind of looks like a younger version of this woman, right? And so I'm like, and then I was like thinking about it, I was like, oh, this is how my mind works, you guys, okay? True story, this is it. I'm sure you know this by now from my vlogs, but this is like in real time how my mind works. So I was like, oh, I love that Academy Award speech by Sandra Bullock. And then I started thinking about like all these other Academy Award speeches that I like, right? And then I was thinking about like Hilary Swank winning from like Boys Don't Cry, and Geraldine Page winning for Trip to Manifold. And I have all these like Frances McDormand, you know, and I have like all these Oscar-winning speeches that I absolutely love. And I was like, oh, Julia Roberts, when she was like, isn't my dress pretty? And I was like, oh, for Erin Brockovich. And then I was like, oh my God, I have not seen Erin Brockovich forever. And it was like very humid out last night. And I was sitting inside in the chair, and it was like, at this point, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I should watch Erin Brockovich. I was like, I haven't seen Erin Brockovich in forever. My mom and I loved Erin Brockovich. We loved the story of it. And so I like looked it up, and I was sure I was gonna have to buy it or pay for it. I actually think I probably own it, because I like I buy all the movies that I love and have them in my iTunes store, like library or whatever. So I was like, where can I watch Aaron Brockovich for free? You know what? I wonder if that's why it showed up on my Amazon for free, because it said, let me look in here and I'm gonna see that I have it in my iTunes library. How does she even look that up? I don't even know. How do I look up movies? I was listening to Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell, one of my favorite versions of this. Isn't this such a great drawing of her, where she's just like hanging out there smoking a cigarette? I love that. I love Joni Mitchell so much. Okay, how do we even find the movies? Do I search for that in the search thing? Movies. How do I even search for it? Okay. Movies. Oh, it's searched on Google for movies. How do I know how to do this? I feel like there's some way that I know how to do this. Purchased? No, that ain't it. Where do I, is it on? Oh, it must be Apple. Okay, here it is, Apple, my library. Recently purchased shows. Do you know what the most recent show I purchased was The Garden? Do you guys remember when I was watching that? The Garden? Commune or Cult. And then my cousin and I watched it too. And then the guy with the long hair that's on that, he's now in a commercial on TV with his wife and his new baby for a car. Did you guys see that? I'm like, oh, so you went from this being in this cult commune out in the middle of nowhere, talking about how y'all didn't need no money for anything, and now you're doing a commercial for like Azusu or something like that? I was so confused when I saw that. Okay, if I own Aaron Brockovich, I own all these. You guys want to know what I own? Okay, After Hours, American Dreamer, American Teen. Oh, that was such a great documentary. Actually, I was just thinking about that the other night because of this song that I was listening to. It actually takes place in Indiana. So the cover of it, here, I'll show you. Well, this is a different cover than it usually has, but it's supposed to look like The Breakfast Club. And so it's this documentary. I talked about this a long time ago. It's this documentary about all these people that go to this high school. Popularity is everything. Breakups and missed jump shots are the end of the world. This came out in 2008. A college acceptance is a dream come true, and an email forward to the wrong person is your worst nightmare. Now experience senior year of high school through the eyes of 5 real-life Indiana teenagers: the prom queen, the heartthrob, the jock, the rebel, and the geek. This revealing year in the life feature delivers the real heartbreak, hilarity, and OMG drama of senior year firsthand from 5 different viewpoints. And no matter who you identify with, everyone will relate to American Teen. Okay, so the song on here, that the main song, or the song that they play at the very end, when one of the girls, her name is Hannah, she ends up like going to San Francisco to go to college and go to art school or something like that. And her mom like says she shouldn't go and all this kind of stuff, but she does. But the song in there is still like one of my favorite songs of life. Okay, Arsenic and Old Lace, Atomic Blonde. I don't think I've ever watched that. Basic Instinct, Big Chill, Black Rainbow. Did you guys ever see that? That was such a great movie. Okay, Black Widow. Oh, that's such a great movie. Body Heat, The Breakfast Club, Casino Royale, Charade, A Chorus Line, Close Encounters of a Third Kind, Crimes of the Heart. Oh, I love that movie. So many good movies to watch this summer. The Deep, Defending Your Life, The Goonies, The Grifters, Halloween, Hanky Panky. And that's with Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. Has anybody seen that movie? Okay, Hard Rain. Oh my god, I used to fall asleep to Hard Rain every night. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The Christian Slater movie and Morgan Freeman, where the whole town is flooded, and then everybody's trying to get out. Betty White is in that movie too. The Incredible Shrinking Woman. I love that movie so much. Into the Night. I guess I don't own Aaron Brockovich, because it would have been in here, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess I don't. Into the Night. So Into the Night is easily my top 3 favorite movies of life, and it's with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. I don't even know where you can watch it anymore, but it's so good. Oh, I didn't even know I owned Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown, The Jewel of the Nile, La La Land, Legal Eagles, Live and Let Die, The Long Kiss Goodnight. I love Live and Let Die. It's probably my favorite James Bond movie. Looker. She's a Looker. Did you guys ever see that movie back in the day? Oh, it was such a good thriller. Love, Simon. Manhattan Murder Mystery, Miss Congeniality 2, The Morning After with Jane Fonda. Oh my god, that is so good. I remember seeing that in the movie theater with my mom. Night Mother, oh, Sissy Spacek and Anne Bancroft, so good. So sad. Nomadland with Frances McDormand. That would be another good one to watch at night. Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13, Outrageous Fortune. I love that. Oh my god, Peanuts, Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown and Don't Come Back when they're exchange students in France. I love that one. The Perfect Storm, Poetic Justice, Poltergeist, Poltergeist 3, A Prairie Home Companion, Rear Window, Romancing the Stone. Oh, I love Romancing the Stone. I love Rear Window too. Salem's Lot. I haven't watched that in forever, and apparently they're doing a redo of it. It's coming out on Max. Seems like old times. Do I own Foul Play? I didn't mention that, did I? Because it seems like Old Times, and that is the sequel to Foul Play, kind of, because it's with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. I love that movie. That's where she's like married to the rich guy, and then Chevy Chase is like well, that wouldn't make sense because Chevy Chase in the original one is a cop, but it seems like, but I think it's like the sequel of them doing it together, like being in the same movie together. Shoot the Moon. Have you guys ever seen that movie with Diane Keaton? Oh my God, that movie is so good. And actually, the guy that's in that movie was the guy that was in Aaron Brockovich. What's his name? Albert Finney. And that movie, my mom used to watch that movie all the time when she was going, I remember this, like when my parents were going through a divorce. And the scene in the kitchen when like all the kids leave for school, and she says to her husband, I mean, it's one of the most fantastic scenes in any movie ever. He's like a writer, and they live out in the country in like Sausalito outside of San Francisco. And it's the night after an award show, and he wins this big award for his book. And so she says something about, where were you last night? They're like standing in the kitchen. She's like cleaning up all the kids' dishes. And he goes, what do you mean? And she goes, were you with your lady friend? And he goes, my what? And she goes, your lady friend. Were you with your lady friend? And he goes, what's that? And she goes, it's like fucking, but you don't tell anybody. It's probably one of the most fantastic lines in any movie. I love that movie so much. Signs, 16 Candles, Slaves of New York. Oh my God, I was going to pick that for Peter's Movie Club. Did you guys ever see that with, what's her name? Tama Janowitz is in it. Bernadette Peters. Tama Janowitz wrote it. An aspiring artist negotiates the cruel concrete world of New York's bohemian art scene. It's on Tubi, by the way. I saw Sorry Wrong Number before this other one, but Sorry Wrong Number. Have you guys ever watched that? Oh my God, with Barbara Stanwyck when she's in bed and she's an invalid and she can't get out of her bed and she overhears somebody trying to kill her. It's so fantastic. Somewhere in Time. Strangers Pray at Night. Have I watched that one? Yes, my husband and I both watched that one together. I feel like there's a TV show about the strangers coming out, and then a new one, Terms of Endearment. I haven't watched that in so long. Thelma and Louise. Oh my God, I love these. To Kill a Mockingbird. The Towering Inferno. I watched it a couple years ago. Unzipped, which is a documentary about Isaac Mizrahi, and it has all the supermodels in it. If you've never seen it, it's fantastic. Weird Science. I don't even know why I bought that, but that was one of my favorite movies when I was like in junior high and high school. When did it come out? 1985, so I would have been in junior high. The Whale. I think I bought that because I wanted to see it before the Oscars, and you had to buy it to watch it. But that was a fantastic movie. The X-Files, I Want to Believe. I don't even think I've ever watched this. Reinstated. Oh, it's 3 minutes. What does that mean? I don't even know what that is. Maybe I got it for free or something. 9 to 5 and 31. And 31 is a Rob Zombie movie, and the reason that I bought it was so that I could... It wasn't out yet. I wanted to watch it on some trip. Now I just rent them. Recently purchased shows. My So-Called Life, The Garden, TV shows, let's see. Oh, those are the only two I have? Okay. Movies. Downloaded. The 3 movies I have downloaded that I've watched in the last like 3 to 6 months is Into the Night, Peanuts, Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, and Poltergeist. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway, those are all my movies. Okay, so last night I watched Aaron Brockovich, and I started watching it, and I was like, this is a good movie to watch outside. And, I mean, it was like literally the sun was starting to come up. And so I brought I brought my iPad out here and made a cup of coffee, and I sat out here and I watched Aaron Brockovich. I skimmed some scenes through it, but I watched the majority of it. I went to bed so late last night. And, so yeah. But it was like so... I forgot how much I love that movie. That is such a great movie. And I have to tell you, I was actually thinking about making a video about this on my Peter Monn channel. Because, on my drama channel, there's all this stuff that came out afterwards about Aaron Brockovich that I never... Not just about her, but like about the movie and all this stuff associated with it that like I had no idea, that I didn't know anything about last night. Because I was like looking up stuff. I was like, whatever happened to her boyfriend, George, that's in the movie? I'm constantly like Googling stuff when I watch movies. I'm always thinking in my head when I'm watching stuff. So yeah, so I watched that last night and then went to bed. And then got up today and then we went to brunch. And Alex had a bowl of soup and he had his Cuban. And I had a gluten-free waffle and I had fruit cup and coffee. Alex had coffee too. It was very dead in there. It was like only like 5 tables. And they said that she was like, tomorrow's like one of our busiest days, and she was like, I'm kind of worried, like if they move the race to tomorrow, then we will be dead tomorrow, because tomorrow's like one of our busiest days of the year, so we're hoping that they're not dead. I don't think we're going to probably go to brunch tomorrow. We might. It kind of depends on how things go. Well, it's 4:19, so the race is supposed to start here in, oh, just turned 4:20, so the race is supposed to start here in 24 minutes. What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know. Did I say it's supposed to rain tomorrow? Now I can't even remember what I looked up. Looked up so many days of rain. I feel like it was going to start and then stop tomorrow or something. As far as like cleaning out the thing. I mean, the weather's never right anyway, right? I know it's supposed to be partly sunny tomorrow. Tomorrow actually would not be a bad day to clean this out, because it's going to be like partly cloudy, but it's going to be in the upper 60s. The highest it's going to get is 72, 73. So it'd actually be a good day to do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll just take the whole day off and I'll only film like a vlog tomorrow. We'll see how I feel. And I mean, this is not going to take us that long, but hopefully we can get it done tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then we can do it next weekend, and it'll be fine. But yeah, tonight I don't know what I'm going to watch. I have a bunch of shows to watch. I thought I would read some comments since I haven't done that for a while. Oh my god. Should I read some comments? Okay. Bum, ba, bum, bum. If you guys have like a long profile name where your name isn't like Sarah sits on a chair and I can say, oh Sarah, like I probably won't read your whole profile or your whole like name, just so you know, because I don't know like how to say it, right? Okay. Somebody said, got my morning walking with you. I love having you to get me ready in the morning. It's so relaxing to hear you talk to me while I get ready for my day. Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you. A lot of people shared stories of like dementia, and I'm not going to share those on here because they're very personal stories, but I just want to say I really appreciate it, and sharing your stories and feeling comfortable to do that. Kristen said, my 40s have been the best decade yet. I would never want to go back to my 20s or 30s. You know, it's interesting when you have that conversation of like, would you go back in time? If like you could, like when they ask the question, like if you could go back to any age, what age would you go to? I don't know that I would go back. I mean, I think I used to say like, oh, I'd go back to like 24, 25. Like after I gotten sober and my life had turned around and things like that. I hear somebody out there, but nobody's out. Their garage door, I can see is closed. My neighbor across the street there's closed. But I can remember that conversation. Like, I feel like I played, like, so many games of, like, Scruples or whatever through the years, you know, where people ask that question. Like, if you could go back to any age, what would you go back to? And I used to, that would be my answer. I would say, like, 24 or 25, right? Like, when I gotten sober. I don't know why the lighting is so bad anymore on this. Maybe it's just the camera is so good or something. I feel like even if I adjust this, it doesn't do anything. That did absolutely nothing, did it? I'm just, like, turning it for no reason. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I will take a look at it, and I don't want to pull this down there because then it's just going to give a total gut shot as I'm like looking at the camera. Well, the sun is starting to come out now, so that's probably part of the problem. But yeah, I would always say like 24 or 25. Like when I gotten sober and I was like really enjoying my life and I was like on track to like do the things I wanted to do with my life and stuff like that. I don't think... I mean, I'm 51, gonna be 52, and I love being where I'm at in my life today. I love everything that I know. I love my appreciation for the simple things in life. And this is just my experience, nobody else's, but like my relationship with God and my relationship with my husband, my dog, and my family. Being able to stay in the present moment. Being grateful for all the things that I have in my life. I feel like everything I've had to go through has brought me to this point. So I don't know that I would go back to a different time, right? I think the only reason I would is to have more time, if that makes sense. Like I said in my video the other day, like the thing about getting older is that you start realizing like you're running out of time to do the things you want to do. And sometimes those things aren't bucket list things. They're just like doing things you want to do is hanging out with the people that you love, maybe, and stuff, you know? But as far as like what Kristen said about the 40s, like yeah, I loved my 40s. I can remember like people freaking out and being like, oh my god, I'm turning 40 and blah, 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 blah. And I never really, like, felt that. I felt like I should think that about my 50s, but I haven't really yet. I think also, like, it's weird where, like, I go with how I look at perspectives. Like, I very much remember, like, my parents, more so in my 50s because, or in their 50s, because that was when I was more of an adult. So, like, for example, well, my mom got sober when she was 51, so I would have been 23. Well, almost 23, because her birthday was June 2nd. So I was 22 turning 23 when my mom was 51. My dad is 3 years older than her, or 3 years younger, 3 years older than her. So if she was 51, he was 54. So that would have been like the year after that I remember my dad turning 55, and somebody put all the pink flamingos in his yard, and he kept on saying that whole, like, I'm double nickels, I'm double nickels. And I had that image of my dad, and that was when, like, he and my stepmom were, like, traveling all over the world, you know, and my dad was getting all these amazing opportunities, and was so fun, and, like, he would probably look back on that and say, like, those, like, 55 to 65 were, like, the best years of his life. And so I look at that, and then my mom got sober at 51, and she definitely, because she said it, like, at the end of her life, you know, not like in the last conversation, I did a whole video about that on my Peterson's channel, well, not a whole video, but I referenced something that she said, but at the end of her life, she would say, my 50s and my early 60s were so much better than the rest of my life because I wasn't drinking, I was clear-headed, I was able to enjoy things, and my mom really enjoyed her 50s, a lot, like, she came out of her shell, like, she was unafraid, you know, and things like that. And so I look at that, and I have two role models that absolutely loved their 50s, you know, and their 60s. My mom loved her early 60s until she passed away, and my dad loved his 60s. So for me, I don't, like, those are, like, good role models for me as far as, like, looking at my 50s and my 60s and getting older and not being like, oh, God, it's going to be all downhill from here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look at it that way. And so, and I'm grateful for that. But I love that Kristen said that she loved her 40s because better than her 20s and her 30s. I feel like it's just gotten better over time. You know, like, I just feel like this is the one thing, the one piece of advice I would give to anybody, no matter what your age is, if you struggle with your age or things like that. Because, I mean, I grew up in this era where women lied about their ages because they didn't want anybody to know. You never ask a woman what her age is. You know, and then it's like, I can remember when my mom got sober, she was like, that's BS. Like, just step in and own your age and be proud of your age. And, you know, and then I feel like there were a lot of actresses at that time that were talking about that, of, like, not being ashamed of your age and things like that, right? And I feel like whatever age you're at, whether you're 28 or you're 68, it's like being in that present moment and appreciating every day that you have. And that would be what I think has been the greatest lesson for me through the years, you know, is just appreciating and loving each and every moment that I'm here and really focusing on that and being like, okay, well, I'm 51 and I'm going to be 52, but I love my life and I have an amazing life, you know, and things like that. And just appreciating each of it instead of comparing 51 to 41, which one was better? Well, they were different. The camera stopped. They were different. They weren't better. One wasn't better or worse, you know? Do I think that I had a better time? You know, my late 30s were hard because my mom had passed away. I was, you know, I was changing out of positions. I resigned from my position working in a treatment facility. You know, got out of one relationship, got into another relationship with Alex, wasn't active in a 12-step program, then went back to a 12-step program. It was like my late 30s and early 40s were like a time of transition for me. And so I'm hoping that going forward, you know, in the last 2 years have just been a lot, you know, 2.5, 3 years have been a lot, you know. A lot of loss, a lot of grieving, a lot of just horrific things that have happened. Not just to me, but obviously, you know, but in my life. And so I'm hoping that going forward, I can take all of that to live each day the best I possibly can. And that's what I try to do, you know, and not be a comparison study of, oh, it was so much better then, or I hope it's so much better in the future. But I love Kristen's attitude of, like, you know, she said, I'm never going to go back to my 20s or 30s. I wouldn't want to go back to my 20s at all. I don't know that I would really want to go back to my 30s either, except for that I looked better. Oh, damn. I think if I would go back to my 30s, the one thing that I would do is, because my hair started turning like gray and white when I was like 23, I would never color it. I would let it go completely. Like as soon as it started going gray and white, I would let it go. I would never have colored it. I would have just been salt and pepper the whole time. That's the one thing. I never actually really think that. I don't know that I've ever said that. That's so funny that I just said that. I don't think I've ever said that in a video, because I don't think I've ever said that out loud. Like that's the one, maybe I have, I don't know. But that's like the one thing that I would go back and do differently. You know, is be like a 30-year-old with like salt and pepper. Because it was salt and pepper before it like turned all white. And then when I stopped coloring, it was like almost all white. That's probably the one thing that I would do differently. If I went back to my 30s, I definitely wouldn't go back to my 20s. Guess I had to go inside and get another battery. I had no idea. I thought that I put a new battery in my camera before I came out here. But it wasn't. It was a completely... It was the same battery that I had in yesterday. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so I was just getting ready to go in and read some of these questions. Okay, somebody said don't move to the villages. This is so funny. So I was talking about retirement homes and stuff yesterday, and I said I'll just go live at the villages. Well, I kind of assume sometimes that people that have watched my vlogs like have watched them for a very, very long time and like know everything I say. There was a period last summer, I think it was last summer, was it the summer before? I'm almost positive it was last summer, when Caroline and I would go to the pool, and there was that guy at the pool, and he would walk laps in the pool. They're not moving back here. I just found that out recently. But they live down there, and he would say, yeah, we got a place at the villages. We always go to the villages. Me and my wife go to the villages. And he would like talk about his aerobics group that he would do, his men's aerobics group that he did at the villages and stuff like that. Well, he would tell us all this stuff about the villages. Well, I had no idea what the villages was. I had never heard of the villages. I didn't know anything about the villages. And so I was joking about it to Caroline, and she said something about, you've never heard of the villages? And I go, no. And she goes, it's like the biggest retirement community in the United States. And I was like, oh, okay, well, how do you know that? And she goes, because there's literally like YouTube videos, TikTok videos about it. And she was like, because there's tons of swingers in there, and they have like, well, when I looked into it, I didn't realize that they had like, at one point, they had like the highest rate of like sexually transmitted diseases and things like that. And so then I ended up watching this documentary about it. And I was like, and it was so sad. It covered like 4 people that lived at the villages. One guy couldn't, like, he was homeless, living inside the villages, trying to find a wife. And then the other 3 people were just like, their stories were, it was just sad. It was just a sad documentary. And then there's like whole YouTube channels of people that like live in the villages and I would never move to the villages, just to make that clear. That was a joke when I said that yesterday, referencing that guy. But I did find out because they moved, because I think like their nephew or a friend of the family or somebody needed a place to stay in Indianapolis, so they moved to the villages and like rented it out to whatever. But anyway, somebody just told me the other day, because their house was like for sale and then it sold like that quick, and said that they're not moving back, they're staying at the villages. So I guess they left the villages. But no, I'm not moving to the villages. I'm fully aware of everything problematic about the villages. I've done my research. Okay, Kayla said, oh my god, I read Savage's back in the 1990s. I couldn't put it down. It's a fantastic read. Do you know what's so funny is I was like, I want to listen to the Audible version of it by Shirley Conran. She's the one that wrote Lace too, right? There's no Audible version of it. The book is so old. I think I bought it on like Amazon or Thrift Books or something like that. Here, I'm gonna look it up and see. I am almost positive it is not on. Who did I just say it was by? Shirley Conran? She's since passed away. Oh no. Are there any Shirley Conran books? It's Conran, not Conrad, I think. Conran. Are there any Shirley Conran books? There are no Shirley Conran books on Audible. She has so been forgotten. Oh my god. They put up Jackie Collins' Chances, Part 1. Oh, we read that for the book club before it was Peter's book club too. How has everybody in the world forgotten? What is this book called? Night Watching? I've heard of it. How has everybody forgotten poor Shirley Conran? I wonder when she passed away. This is how I spend my day on the Google. You'd think that I would have spent my entire life in the library doing research, but no. Shirley Conran. Okay, she was born in 1932, and she died in May 9th. Oh my god, she literally just passed away. This is so bizarre, you guys. I just mentioned her. She passed away May 9th of 2024. Here, let's read about her, shall we? And give her a little dedication. Dame Shirley Ida Conran, born Pierce, September 21st, 1932, passed away May 9th, 2024, was a British author, designer, journalist, and social entrepreneur. After her marriage to Terence Conran, with whom she worked as a designer and sales director at Conran Fabrics, she became a women's editor of The Observer and the Daily Mail, launching its female section. After a serious illness left her, making it difficult for her to work, she wrote best-selling books including the feminist self-help Superwoman and the blockbuster Lace. In later life, she campaigned and founded charities to encourage mass education for women. For this, she was made a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire and was invested in hospital a week before her death. And was, what? Invested? I don't know what that means. Career. Does it talk about what books she wrote? Her first novel, Lace, was published in 1982 by Simon & Schuster and was a huge bestseller, spending 13 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, reaching as high as number 6. It became known as Bonkbuster. Oh, I guess that's why. I thought it was a misspell, but I guess for its many explicit and often bizarre sex scenes. It was adapted into a 1980s U.S. miniseries starring Phoebe Cates. You guys, did you ever see that? It was so good. It contains the infamous line, "Which one of you bitches is my mother?" Do you guys remember that when she walks in the room and she's like a porn star, Phoebe Cates? And they all went to the same boarding school. Okay, this was like back in the day. Like when I was like in junior high and high school, this was like bad. Like Lace, to read Lace was like dirty, dirty bad, right? And it's about these 3 friends and they all went to like the Swiss boarding school. And then one of them gets pregnant and you don't know which one of them gets pregnant, but they all fall out of touch. This is like very like Pretty Little Liars, but like 1982, right? But one of them gets pregnant, but you don't know which one of them it is, and they all 3 decide they're going to keep the secret. And so the daughter is Phoebe Cates. I feel like when she grows up, she's like a porn star or something like that, some famous porn star, and she's got all these like fur coats and all this kind of stuff, lives in this huge apartment. So she invites them all because she wants to know, like it's told like back and forth between like, you know, back then and before. She wants to know like who her mother is. She wants to find out which one her mother is. I can't remember which one is her mother, honestly, but I can see them. One has real short dark hair, kind of looks like Kris Jenner a little bit. The other one has like long blonde hair. I don't think she's the mother, and I can't remember the third one. But anyway, oh my god, I forgot about that line. Here's Savages right here. It won't even pull it up and show it. Oh, here it is. Why isn't it showing the... Oh, does it say Audible? No. Apple Books. You can get it for $1.99 on Apple Books. Here... Why does it just keep on doing this? Is it even on Goodreads? I don't think it's even... Oh, here. It is on Goodreads. I can't believe it. Watch, I'll pull it up and I'll say... I'll have it on here as red. Marked as red. I think I have it inside the house somewhere. But I just went through all my books and I don't remember seeing it. Okay, Savages. This is not the cover that I have. The other cover is... Oh, I have it marked as red. When a group of mining executives bring their wives to an island paradise, vacation is not on their minds, but in their greedy rush to claim the prize, the men fail to take into account a general who takes control of the island and brutally executes all of them, leaving their wives to fend for themselves in the jungle. You know, I actually feel like I did not read that one in high school. When did it come out? I feel like I read it like on a trip with my dad and my stepmom, and we went somewhere, like, came out in 1987. I would have been a sophomore in high school. I feel like I read it much later. So Crimson. I have Crimson. I bought that one. Tiger Eyes. I'm gonna go on here. I'm gonna see if you can get these. Books by Shirley Conran. Okay, so it's not showing here. Let me show the images. Let me image search this to see if I can. Okay, here's the cover that I had. I totally remember this paperback book. Like, that's the cover that I had. That's so crazy. Do you ever wish you saved like everything from your entire life? Like you just had like every shirt, every, you know, so you knew. Okay. Ashley or Ashlyn said, loved Daryl Dixon, but only got 2 episodes into Dead City. It was just so boring and more of the same, really. So I just, okay, I would say that I felt the exact same way, but I would recommend continuing. Why is this battery dying too? What is going on today? Like, the universe is saying, Peter, you need to just relax and maybe not keep on, like, you don't have to make a really long vlog today. Well, I said I was going to do this shorter, so, okay. But I would say the same thing. The battery just went to the halfway mark, which is why I said that. And this is like one of the new this must be the bad battery, because this is a fully charged battery. So this must be the bad battery. Okay, I'm going to throw this away as soon as this is done. I say that and then I'll totally forget and I'll put it back in there to charge it. But like 2 seconds after it's over, I've forgotten it. Okay, I would tell you to keep watching Dead City. I thought it was pretty good at the end. Plus there's things in there that you're going to want to know, that if they revamp Walking Dead or do something else, you're going to want to know. It's only 6 episodes. You can power through it like me. And it gets much better. I will tell you the last 2 to 3 episodes are much better. Okay, a lot of people sharing. Okay, somebody said, doesn't look like it's raining like the forecast said it was supposed to be. Somebody said. Are you talking about yesterday? Yeah. Okay, oh, here's where it is. Somebody said, true crime fans, I just finished Control, Alt Desire, and Pillowcase Murders on Paramount. They are both so good in very different ways. Does anyone know if Peter has watched or talked about these? So I haven't, like I said, I just finished Pillowcase Murders, but I haven't finished Control, Alt Desire. I'm reading this comment. I'm like, do I know if I have enough time to get, okay. So, Laurel said, in popular opinion, I'm terrified of aging and getting old. I'll be 40 this year, and my dad died at 42, so that perspective is incredibly jarring. I totally understand that. Like, I think, like, when I was saying that yesterday in my video about, like, my mom dying at 64, you know, like, I'm sure when I hit 60, I will be, like, freaking out about it. I'll be like, oh my god, my mom passed away at 64. I remember her 60th birthday. Like, had I known that, you know, she only had a couple years left, it would have changed everything for me. I think one thing, and you already said that your dad passed away, which I'm really sorry about. I think one thing for me, I used to have such a huge fear of death, right? And I still have that today. I wouldn't say I have a huge fear of death. I would say I don't want to die. I'm not ready to, you know? I know that, you know, having, like, my mom passed away and it literally being because of this illness that just came out of nowhere and she couldn't control. You know, and then the accident, and then the brain bleed, and the pancreatitis. And then my friend that, you know, passed from cancer. And she didn't get to choose how she passed, but she got to choose the attitude in which she passed. And the grace that she had. And she chose how she lived her life for the days that she had remaining. And I've talked about her on here many times. And I think about her a lot, right? Like, we never, any of us, know how many days we have left. So we should always be living with that attitude, right? Like, and not take it for granted. We should always live with that attitude. I mean, she lived every day giving, so generous to other people. Was one of the kindest people I ever knew, right? She wore whatever she wanted to wear. She did not care, you know, and she had the coolest style as a result of that. She traveled a lot. She spent a lot of time with friends and family. And when I say she traveled a lot, it wasn't just that she was going to places she had never been before, which she did. She learned how to scuba dive. She started scuba diving, you know, like, and went all these, like, places in the Caribbean and stuff. But she would also take, like, women's trips with her girlfriends and go to, like, Michigan for a weekend. She started, like, trying new kinds of food. I mean, she just, like, her life opened up, right? Because she wasn't, and I think that's one of the reasons why, like, there were certain words around cancer that she didn't like. She did not love the word survivor. She didn't like it, you know? And I feel like it's, like, about to start raining again. I don't know why, which will be sad for the race. But, you know, I think about her, and I think about her attitude towards life. You know, that she had stage 4 cancer and what she was dealt, you know, and basically the last year, they were like, we've exhausted all attempts at there's nothing else we can do. And to know that, you know, like, and I know that that's a lot of people's experience out there, but to know that, and that was basically what they said to me about my mom. My mom just wasn't aware of that. But imagine, like, I mean, I can't even, well, I'm sure some of you out there have heard similar things to that, but, like, I can't imagine hearing that, right? And knowing, I mean, next year when the pool opens, I might not be here. You know, like, I can't imagine. It's like my uncle said to me, I remember, like, I said something to him about watching TV shows, and he goes, I don't watch them as much anymore because I know I'm not going to find out what happens next season. Like, I'm not going to be here, you know what I mean? Here comes my favorite neighbors. Hey! You too. Are you listening to the race? I guess you can watch it now because they lifted the blackout, right?
When did it start?
Supposed to start at 4:44. Oh, it's 4:44 right now. I have absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. But apparently, because it started so late, I read this online. I don't know if this is true, but apparently they lifted the, like, blackout where you can't record, like, you can't watch it on TV. What are you having for dinner? Fish. I love that you carry your purse for your phone. I love that. My mother-in-law does the same thing. Well, have a nice weekend. I went to the pool yesterday. I did. I was like, it's open. I'm going. I went twice. Did you get in?
We were the first ones there.
What time did you go? Am I getting a delivery? Oh, I think somebody's delivering. Alex ordered a bunch of stuff on Amazon. Bye, guys. Have a good one. It's either us or it's my neighbor across the street because Alex just ordered a bunch of stuff on Amazon. Is this for me? Oh, it's something we have to sign for. I'll be right back. How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Good. The work today, huh?
Yeah.
Aw. Well, thank you so much. Drive safe.
No problem. Have a good night.
You too. All right, that's for Alex. I don't know what it is. It feels like a battery or something. It feels like a battery for like a cell phone charger. He might have bought a new cell phone charger like that. He can put in his bag and stuff like that. But I think about my friend a lot, right? And how much she went through and all the medical procedures she went through and a double mastectomy. And, you know, in that period of time also lost one of her children. And, I don't know, she just went through so much and her spirit was always just such a spirit of gratitude and love. And she just loved life, you know? And, she had this group of women that she was like, that there was like 5 of them, and they were all friends and they traveled together and they had a little group they called themselves. And I remember at her viewing, talking, because I knew some of those women, and talking to some of them, and they like weren't sad and they weren't like, oh, this is so sad and whatever. They were like, she lived such an amazing life. Like, she inspired and motivated all of us. And she wouldn't want us to be sad. Like, she told us that, I don't want you to be sad. And they were all telling me that, you know, and they were just like celebrating her. I mean, they were literally, when we talk about celebration of life, like they were literally celebrating her life. So I don't know, you know, like, I don't think any of us wants to get older, and I don't think probably, you know, and until we're maybe really sick and it's too much, we don't want to be here anymore. But I think I look to her as this attitude for living, of just like this amazing gratitude and taking in life for as much of it as we could possibly take it in for, you know? And I love that. And that's the attitude I try to live with today. So I'm grateful, you know, for her and other people that I look to for inspiration and motivation to live in the moment and enjoy my life as much as possible. And with that being said, I'm gonna get off here now and go render this. I'm gonna read a little Walking Dead and maybe watch On Golden Pond or a show with my husband, maybe take a nap, we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a fantastic weekend. Just to keep this in check, I vlogged every day in April and I have vlogged every day in May. So this is 26 days of vlogging. So can you even believe it? I can't believe it. So anyway, but I'm having such a blast and I love you guys so much, and have a fantastic weekend. Do something that that you love, even if it takes 5 minutes, you know, a little face mask or a shower, or do something that makes you happy today, okay? And relax a little bit, even if that's only, I know for some of you guys out there that have kids and are taking care of parents and are working real hard, it's hard, but even if that's just 2 to 3 minutes of like eating a little bit of your favorite food while you're standing in the refrigerator door with it open, or, you know, I don't know, just like listening to one song that makes you happy or something. Do something specifically for yourself today. You deserve it. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.